The night was heavy with silence. The sky was blanketed with thick clouds that swallowed the moon, leaving the long highway in near darkness. Every now and then, headlights from a distant truck or car would cut through the gloom before vanishing again, plunging everything back into shadow. On that lonely road, a modest, aging car rolled slowly forward. Inside sat a small family. Ali, a man in his mid-40s, held the steering wheel tightly, his eyes fixed on the black stretch of road ahead. His face was weary, etched with lines of fatigue and worry. Beside him sat Maryam, his wife, trying to appear calm though her anxious eyes betrayed her. In the backseat, their children huddled close together. 8-year-old Ahmed stared out the window, wide-eyed, curiosity and fear battling within him. Beside him, little Aisha leaned against her mother's seat, her tiny voice breaking the silence. "Mama, when will we reach? I'm scared." Maryam pulled her daughter close, her hand stroking her hair. "Just a little longer, my love. Soon we'll be at Nani's house." The family wasn't on the road for leisure. Earlier that evening, Ali had received a call that shook his world. His mother's health had worsened suddenly. The doctor urged the family to come quickly, hinting there might not be much time. Without hesitation, Ali had gathered his family and set out. As they drove, Ali's thoughts were consumed with only one prayer: "Please, God, let me reach my mother in time." But fate had other plans. A sudden rattling sound filled the air. Ali's grip tightened. He slowed the car, his forehead breaking into sweat. Maryam glanced at him nervously. "What happened?" she asked. Ali pulled over to the side of the empty highway. "Something's wrong. Maybe the engine, or the tire. Let me check." He stepped out into the cold night. The stillness of the road made the darkness feel heavier. When he lifted the hood, steam hissed out, the engine had overheated. He turned toward the tires and felt his heart sink. One was almost flat. From inside, Ahmed's worried voice called out, "Abu, what's happening?" Ali forced a smile. "Don't worry, son, I'll fix it." But deep down, he knew it wasn't that simple. He tried his phone, but the screen only flashed two dreaded words: "No service." Maryam stepped out, folding her arms against the chill. She looked up at the cloudy sky and whispered, "Oh God, make it easy for us." The children pressed their faces to the window, watching their father move anxiously around the car. The highway remained silent, indifferent to their struggle. Cars passed occasionally, but none slowed down, none stopped. Ahmed leaned closer to his sister and whispered, "What if no one helps us?" Ali heard him, and though his heart ached, he replied firmly, "Don't lose hope, Ahmed. God always sends help, sometimes from where we least expect it." And then, as if in answer, a pair of bright headlights appeared far in the distance. The lights grew larger, brighter, until the rumble of a massive truck echoed across the highway. Maryam's heart skipped. Was this their rescue, or another danger? Ali held his breath, silently praying, "Please, let this be the help we need." Milky Way. The Stranger on the Highway, Part 2. The truck roared closer, its lights flooding the lonely road. It screeched to a halt beside them, the sound sharp in the silent night. For a tense moment, time seemed to freeze. The door creaked open, and a tall, broad-shouldered man stepped out. His boots hit the ground with a heavy thud. A cap shaded part of his face, his beard rough, and in his hand was a torch that cut through the darkness. Ahmed shrank back against the seat. "Mama, is he a thief?" he whispered. Maryam hushed him, though her own heart raced. She held her children closer, watching as the stranger walked steadily toward Ali. Ali straightened, standing firmly by the car. Fear pressed against his chest, but he wouldn't show it. If this man meant harm, Ali was ready to defend his family with whatever strength he had left. Then, the stranger's voice broke the silence. It was deep, yet surprisingly calm. "What's the problem, brother?" "Car broke down." Ali hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, the engine's overheated, and the tires flat. No phone signal either. We're stuck." The man tilted his head, shining his torch on the car. "Don't worry, I'm no mechanic, but I've driven trucks for 25 years on this highway. I know a thing or two." Relief flickered across Ali's face, though caution remained. Maryam leaned close to her husband and murmured, "Be careful. We don't know him." Ali whispered back, "I know. But we have no choice." The stranger opened his truck and pulled out a toolbox. He knelt beside the car, his movements confident, steady. Inside the car, Ahmed's eyes widened with curiosity. He whispered to his sister, "Look, Aisha, he's like a hero fixing our car." In just minutes, the man had the jack under the car and the tire removed. Maryam finally gathered courage to ask, Brother, where were you headed so late? Without pausing his work, he replied, I'm driving cargo from Karachi to Peshawar. Still a long road ahead. Saw you stranded, and I couldn't just pass by. Something softened in Miriam's chest. Maybe the world isn't as cruel as I thought. 15 minutes later, the tire was replaced. Ali's gratitude spilled out. You've saved us from disaster. God bless you. But the stranger wasn't done. He pointed to the hood. Let's check the engine. Otherwise, you won't get far. He examined the pipes, fetched water from his truck, and poured it carefully into the radiator. This will hold until morning. Get it serviced soon. Ali was stunned by the man's generosity. He reached into his pocket, pulling out a handful of notes. Please, take this. It's the least I can do. The man shook his head firmly, stepping back. No, brother, I don't do this for money. Once, long ago, I was stranded just like you. A stranger helped me and said, don't repay me. Just help someone else when the time comes. Tonight, I did the same. Ali was speechless. Miriam's eyes glistened. Even the children were quiet, sensing the weight of those words. The man closed his toolbox, walked back to his truck, and with one final glance said, remember, kindness never goes to waste. Pass it on. Then he climbed into his cab, started the engine, and drove into the night, his taillights shrinking into the darkness until they disappeared completely.